I know you guys have the 24-hour rule. What's just been the mentality after those 24 hours? What have you guys been focused on after maybe a tough loss on the road on Saturday?
Yeah, I mean, 24 hours is up, and we've been focused on nothing but Washington. I mean, we have a good team coming here, and we got to, this would be a good game for us to bounce back. And it's going to be a battle, though. They're a good team, and, we're looking forward to another really good opportunity.
What's the mentality right now in the locker room, just with kind of the mood of the team 5 games into the season?
I mean, 5 games, for the most part, we're still pretty healthy, which is awesome that, we got a little banged up last week, but for the most part, I don't think there's any, season-ending injuries or anything. So, it's just continuous recovery treatment as far as physically and everything. But then mentally, we're just doing everything we can to just be as prepared as we can for Saturday. And, we're just always trying to get better. And, even when there's losses, sometimes that's a really tough learning experience, but sometimes you learn more in those opportunities than you do if you win. So we're just trying to, the 24-hour rule is up, so we're doing everything we can to just get ready for Washington.
Yourself personally, after you watch the tape, what do you take away from how you performed against the Buckeyes that maybe you want to improve on?
There's a couple of things I took away from the film as far as maybe my feet a little bit, but I think overall there's some good and there's some bad, not just from me, but from everyone. And I think, we're just doing everything we can to, learn from that stuff and, apply it to this week and, just really clean up those mistakes and, whatever went good for us, we're going to build on it.
You look at Washington, I know Ohio State has maybe the top defense in the country. Washington's got a pretty stout defense as well. You guys look at this as another challenge for the offense to really try to maybe, get something rolling?
Yeah, when you're playing in the Big Ten, you're going to play a lot of really good defenses, and for the most part, the majority of them are going to be top 10, defenses. So, Washington's definitely a good defense, and, they have a lot of new players, new staff and everything, but for the most part, they're still a really good football team, and, they played in a national championship last year, so, they're definitely a good squad, and, we respect them a lot.
Washington's one of the new teams in the Big Ten. Is there anything they do defensively that's maybe different from what you see from a normal Big Ten team?
Kind of nowadays, every Big Ten team they've been switching it up a lot, within the recent years. So they have their own schematics, and, it's early in the week, so we're just doing it, we're just trying to, learn our opponent to the best of our ability, and, we'll have a better idea by the end of the week.
You've had a couple departures from the program over the last 24 hours or so. Is there an idea right now of just wanting to make sure you guys are still focusing on the guys that are in the locker room, rallying around the guys that are still here?
Yeah, absolutely. Whoever's here, we want to, the train's still moving forward. We want to, for the guys who left, wish them all the best. They, made their decisions, but, our focus is on who's here and who wants to be here and, who wants to help this team succeed.
Is it tough when you come off a loss like that? You lost to Iowa State and you lose to Ohio State, to kind of keep the confidence level up? Is there a sense of we're missing out on some opportunities here, even though we still have 7 games to go?
Yeah, I think you can't really dwell on stuff like that. That's, kind of the part of the 24-hour rule is that we have to, what happened has happened. And, if we're just going to sit around and, kind of dwell on, maybe a missed opportunity or, what didn't go our way, then, it's going to stack up and lead to, worse stuff, honestly. And we have plenty in front of us. We've, only lost 1 game in the Big Ten. There's still plenty to play for. And, it starts with bouncing back this week.
You're mentioning some good and some bad. What were kind of some of the good takeaways? It seemed like you had some good momentum going in the first half there.
Yeah, overall, in the first half, it was a couple hiccups, but, we were able to move the ball pretty well. And I think, stringing some of those plays together is going to be good for us. They're a really good defense. And, for us to, show that we can move the ball, I think a lot of it was, our third down efficiency was really good. And, when we were, even our passing efficiency was pretty solid. So I think, those were some really good takeaways. And I think overall, just the maturity and some of the stuff that we were able to find in the passing game, with our receivers, those were some good signs.
Their defense reminded them a little bit of Purdue. Is there anybody that Washington reminds you of offensively? Sorry, I didn't mean to stump you.
I don't know. I don't think so. I think they got a good. I don't know. Your typical Big Ten team where obviously they believe in the run game over there. And then they have a good quarterback and good receivers to also throw the ball. I think you just see a lot of that in the Big Ten where like offenses are extremely balanced. It's not a lot of times where you can play a team who can't run the ball and who only pass, or also who only can run the ball and can't pass. So you kind of like, in this conference, you kind of got to be able to guard both. I feel like they're kind of sticking to that script of a balanced offense.
I remember at the truck stop in the offseason, you said you didn't want to be someone that could just get by on ability. Like, you wanted to dive into the mental game. I think it would be easy for you to, like, coast this season knowing what you did last season. Why not?
Well, they didn't want me last season. That's why I came back. So I bet not coast. I better get better.
You mean the NFL?
Yeah. So, I'm coast. I might be out of job. But yeah, I love the student side of it. I tell Wallace, they don't want me in the NFL. I might come back in GA and stuff, start from scratch. But I just love the student side, just knowing where the ball is going, just the X's and O's of the game, and if I can get an advantage before the ball snap. I just think it's cool. Like, I don't know. I think watching tape's pretty fun. Like, I don't know, just finding details and stuff. Like, I'd rather watch tape than watch TV or like a TV show. So yeah, I like watching tape. Just something like just sitting in the film room by yourself, finding stuff that'll help you play faster.
Sorry, go ahead, Tyler.
I was going to say, I know you say jokingly they didn't want you, but there would have been someone that would have drafted you at some point. I mean,
they should have called me.
But I mean, is that motivation? Or,
yeah. I was talking to Sully. Sully was a 3-star, and he was an 89 on 247 or something like that. So it's like he was almost a 4-star, and I was at 81, so I was almost a 2-star. So I barely was a 3-star, and I'm like my whole career, like, I've just kind of been an underdog. So I guess you could say I had that like motivation my whole career. I feel like I play best when people doubt me. So that's where I like to tell myself that nobody wants me. So I just keep playing harder.
Last week, something you told us was that if you want to play in the NFL, you've got to play well against guys who are going to be in the NFL. And I feel like you did that on Saturday. You had 14 tackles against Ohio State. Do you feel like you proved that to some people that you can play against the best guys in college football, at least?
I'm just trying to continue to help the team. Just carve out my role and helping the defense. And sometimes that changes game to game. Sometimes you got to have a lot of tackles. Sometimes you just got to get people aligned. I feel like I'm doing a good job this year, just understanding what the team needs from me according to that game. Last year I just think it was a bunch of tackles, but I don't know if I was like really helping the defense. Like, I don't know if I was getting the ball back, turning overs, or punching the ball out, really getting people aligned. So this year I just feel like I'm doing a better job of just actually seeing what we need and just filling the role from there.
As one of the captains of this team, are you one of the guys responsible for helping this team move on after losing a couple guys out of the locker room, helping them kind of focus on who's still here and focusing on keeping their eyes forward?
Yeah, we're definitely in a new day and age with the portal. We don't have any prisoners. Like, I woke up and came here by choice. So if you don't want to be here, you don't have to be here. So everybody's got that choice. We respect everyone's opinion. Leshon got here in 2020 in the dorms, so obviously I'm close to that guy. I hope nothing but success for that guy. A really, really close teammate for me. You think about the dudes in my class who are still here. It's not that many. So. Like, we've seen the 2020 class come and go, so it's like I don't think it's anything new. Like, it's not like the first time somebody hit the transfer portal, but just focus on moving forward, focus on the guys that are here, focus on the dudes who want to be a part of the solution.
If there's one thing that I find sad about that, just simply, is that dude deserves a senior day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He has put a lot into this.
Yeah.
It's just, but the business of the game
Yeah.
is
Yeah, he's definitely one of those dudes who has the respect of his teammates. I think you can ask the offensive line. But yeah, it is a business. You got to put yourself first sometimes. The program's going to be here. Iowa's going to have a good running back. Iowa's going to run the ball. But, yeah, sometimes you do have to look out in your best interest.
You guys had another kind of 24-hour rule type of weekend with trying to flush that Ohio State game. How's the recovery process going the last couple of days?
It's going good. We put our focus on Washington. They have a good football team. We're going to have to come out and execute. We've yet to play a full 60-minute good ball game or 60-minute ball game of good football, and we're looking to put that out there Saturday.
After giving up 35 points against Ohio State, what's the mentality among the defense? Like, you guys really wanting to kind of show what you guys are made of again?
Of course. I mean, every week we got the same goal. So limit big plays. Limit points, and just execute at the highest level. Keep raising that standard day in and day out, and going out here on practice field, having good days, putting good days in. I think that leads up to Saturday.
Jermari, has the 60 minutes, 4 quarters thing become concerning for you guys? Have you put a focus on playing all 60 minutes? Because a lot of these games, it's been one really solid half and one not so good half.
I think that just comes with, just practicing harder, doing everything a little harder, maybe focusing on the smaller details off the field that'll help us out. But it's a long season. We're about halfway through, and we're looking to turn that curve for sure.
What do you see in the Washington offense?
I see a lot of passing. So it's going to be fun. I believe a crazy stat where I think 3rd and 1 is 90% run, and 3rd and 2 is about 52% pass. So you don't see that often, especially in our league. I think in our league in general this year has been totally different. I've been here for a while, and I just feel as though it's more of a passing league, faster league, really taking more into the NFL almost, especially with Minnesota a couple weeks ago. That completely surprised me. I've never played a Minnesota team that came out and throw the ball almost 40 times. So each and every day, it's come out just focusing on smaller details, that's going to lead to success over time.
Seems like maybe you're playing at the highest level that you have since you've been in Iowa. Would you agree with that, and how would you just kind of assess what you've done personally this season?
Yeah, I would agree. It's the first time in my career where I can actually look at the tape and be, somewhat satisfied. I don't want to use the word satisfied, but somewhat happy. I think that just comes with maturity, and I've been doing this for quite some time now, and of course the people around me. I'm surrounded by great people each and every day, down to the janitors in the building. So when you're around great people and you focus on the goal, I think it all comes together.
You said you see a lot of passing with the Washington offense. Is it kind of exciting to see a little bit different look from one of the newcomers?
Oh yeah, no doubt. I think every week it's always exciting, because it's another opportunity to get after it. But it's gonna be a good challenge. It's gonna be a good challenge. I'm looking forward to it. We're looking forward to it.
You've had Leshon in there, TJ in there on the opposite side of you. How have you just tried to help those guys kind of out as you?
Just try to answer any questions they have for me. Get in the film room with them, watch the tape, try to really get down to the nitty-gritty in the tape, the film, the splits, what they can get out of this, the game plan. But at the end of the day, it's just we have to trust in our preparation, and we know we prepare hard each and every day going into Saturday, and everything we do is to make sure that on Saturday we come out and be the best we can be. So at the end of the day, I'm just trying to do what I can to help them grow, also help myself grow, learning from others. They help me too. So it's to each one teach one.
Over the last 24 hours, you've had a couple of departures from the program. Is there kind of a sense right now of wanting to rally around the guys that are still here, that kind of thing?
No, we all a family, and those who left, we wish them the best of luck. And to me, they're still family. But the mission hasn't changed. That's to go out and play great, tough, smart, physical Iowa football. And at the end of the day, we know we got to come out and do that.
Are there any kind of favorite memories of your time with Leshon or with Kaleb?
I have a lot. We all Chicago guys, so it's just good to hear similar voices. It's just a reminder of home. Yeah, I love them boys. I love them.
How do you evaluate as a secondary as a whole? How do you evaluate kind of what you guys have done this season?
Always with a growth mindset. No matter what we do, win, lose, or draw, we always gonna have a growth mindset. So we can go out and have 5 picks this week, and we still tell you some things we need to do to get better. We can go out and have no picks. We can go out and give up some touchdowns. There's still things that's gonna need to be corrected on tape, and I feel as though that's the best way to continue to move, to progress, to move forward. And so at the end of the day, it's always trying to get better each and every time we step out on the field. And make sure everything you do throughout the week is to make sure you prepare it on Saturday to be the best you can.
I mean, every game's important. You know, we got a lot of stuff left that we still want to do, and at the end of the day, it just comes down to hitting people. You know what I mean? So, I mean, I know there's a lot of other stuff going on, but I think we're starting to hit somebody.
You trim the mustache at all?
A little bit. I had to trim it up before the game and stuff, because like the chin guard that I wear is like the old school one, so it gets really itchy. Like if you have a beard, it's just terrible. So.
It's not terrible. But the mullet, the back of the head is still growing out.
Well, I had to get a haircut on, would that be Thursday night, because it was getting too long, so I had Winnie cut me up out on his porch. It was actually in the dark because it was at night, because we just got done eating supper, so I think it's not too bad for being cut in the dark with a phone flashlight.
So we're all season, we're just going to keep growing it out.
I think so.
You guys got another tough test this weekend on offense. Ohio State, I think, statistically tops in the country.
Sure.
Washington, though, I think also they're like top 10 yardage
Sure.
given up. When you hear those numbers as a lineman, do you kind of like get fired up and think, man, we got another opportunity here to prove ourselves?
I mean, every play is an opportunity, you know, especially because a lot of it comes down to just fundamentals and how good you can be throughout the week in your preparation. But no, I'm pretty excited. I mean, I don't really care who we play.
Yeah.
I just want to block somebody and watch KJ run the ball down the field. So, yeah.
You mentioned you don't care. Is it a little odd that you knew it was coming, but Washington in the Big Ten coming, and now they're coming to your place? Now it's here, like the team that you really never knew that you'd play before is here coming?
Yeah, I know. I mean,
seeing their name?
Yeah. No, it's pretty cool, but I mean, at the end of the day, like it doesn't matter to me who we play. Like whatever jersey they got on or helmet or whatever, I'm just going to go hit them. So.
Yeah. The importance of getting KJ going. It seems like when you can establish him early, that can open up stuff where that maybe didn't happen against Ohio State. How important is that to get him rolling early?
Huge. I mean, everything's going to start with the run game, you know, like the play passes, and then the actual pass game is going to all start with the run game.
Yeah.
You got to make them fear the run. So, and it's fun to watch them run. So,
What's the shirt we got on today?
I was just cleaning my locker, so I threw it on.
I hear train coming. It's rolling around the bend. Okay, nothing special there. Just
Johnny
shirt.
Cash shirt. I got it last year, so, and it was clean. I got some dog hair on it for the dogs I live with, but.
What kind of dogs do you live with?
So they're my roommate's dogs, but it's a Doodle and then a Golden Retriever.
Very cool. Thanks, Jennings.
Yeah.
What is kind of the mentality when you have a couple of guys leaving the program over the last 24 hours? I mean, it's just kind of the new era of college football, but that's something that this program hasn't seen a lot of before. So what's the bounce back like in the locker room after seeing a couple of guys go?
Sure, you know, I mean, I think that they made the best decisions that they thought for themselves, and, you know, we don't want to have people held hostage here, so I guess if you don't want to be here, I guess, and you think that's not the best for you, that is what it is, you know, so.
How do you feel about that? Is that a good thing for college football, or?
You mean just the transfer portal itself?
Yeah, just having guys leave in the middle of the season, or?
I mean, I guess it probably has its pros and its cons. I mean, it's not something that I would probably do, but I mean, I don't know. I guess I can't speak for everybody, but.
I think what you said about it being an individual decision is probably, it's weird. It's weird for everybody to see this stuff happen when
Sure.
it's historically not this way.
Right, I mean, they just got to do what they think is best for them, you know, so nobody else can make that decision but them, and that's just what they chose.
How did you feel you guys played up front in Columbus?
Sure, I mean, I thought that we got a lot of stuff to get better at, you know, just the little fundamentals, and that's kind of what we're working on this week and working at today, and then we'll watch it tonight in meetings, and then tomorrow we'll work on it and watch it again, so just getting ready to roll for this Saturday.
Is it different when I heard these guys ask you about Washington?
Sure.
Like you prepare for other Big Ten teams, you have some history, right?
Sure.
Is it different preparing for a team where you're just like, this is the first time we're seeing this defense?
I mean, not necessarily, you know, because defenses up front are really only going to run a three down or 4 down, you know, so it's kind of got a 50-50 shot, you know, and we've already seen a 3 down and a 4 down. So, I mean, it just comes down to just hitting somebody, you know, because, I mean, I already know what their front's going to look like and stuff. So, I mean, I'm not a genius, you know, so.
Are they a blitz team?
No, not really. Nope.
I didn't know until preseason how big of a reader you are. Anything you're reading lately that's really stuck out?
I mean, I'm still working on Christine by Stephen King, but I got a lot of school stuff going on.
Okay.
So I just got to find time to do that. But I mean, if I had more time, I'd definitely be reading a lot more.
What is it that you're doing in your free time when you're not working on football, when you're not studying film, when you're not working on school stuff? What are you doing in your free time?
Like when I got 30 minutes a night, you're saying?
Sure.
Usually I'll watch.
That's what you got.
Yeah, usually I'll watch like a fishing video or something. You know, there's like a guy that makes these videos, and there's like almost no talking, and he's just like out in the woods somewhere.
Yeah,
it's pretty sweet.
Do you get to fish during the season? I mean, do you have any places you're able to get off to during the season?
Not really. I mean, maybe during the bye week or something, just go out to the Iowa River Power Landing or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. I never catch anything out there though. I think that water's cursed out there. But usually, I mean, out by Lake McBride's pretty good.
Okay.
You get a lot of drumheads out there.
Okay. Did you go during the bye week a couple weeks ago?
No, I didn't. I was getting caught up on school and stuff. And then I went back early to Lena, my hometown. So.
Oh yeah. Okay. Got to be good fishing around Galena, man. That's a beautiful area.
I've never been out to Galena to go fish. Well, my buddies have a couple ponds out in Lena that we just jug at and stuff. So
yeah.
That's more fun than fishing, so.
Nah, I'm kidding. But he's one of those dudes, man. He comes to work every single day, and that's not like a cliche thing. Like he comes to work every single day. Every single day. I don't know if you guys saw like the little, what's it called, mic'd up. It's like, let's play football. That's every single day. Like when he's screaming all that stuff, every single day. But he's fast, he's violent. And I'm really glad he's on our side. He makes a lot of big-time plays, and he helps out our linebackers a whole lot.
What would you say kind of the state of this defense is at right now through 5 weeks?
Just focus on improvement. I think that we have so much growth to do. I mean, we've had some highs, we've had some lows, but we just got to keep on pushing it forward, get more consistent with our communication, and get more consistent just with our pad level, playing fast, physical, violent, and just finishing and making plays.
And in terms of communication, you and Jay making the calls, or is it just Jay?
I mean, everybody's making calls. D-line's making calls, linebackers making calls, back end's making calls. So it's just we all have to be on the same page in regards to our calls.
Is that sort of hard to practice? Is that sort of hard to practice? You're not going. It's not like a real game. Like, how would you practice that typically?
It's just like at practice. I mean, our coaches put us in stressful situations when we got to make different calls and try and line fast and all that stuff. So I think that really is what it boils down to.
What do you think? What gives you encouragement this defense can continue to play well down the stretch?
I mean, shoot, our coaches. We got Coach Barker, we got Coach Wallace. I mean, they're going to always hold us to a standard, and we got to keep pushing that thing forward. You know what I mean? I think we got a lot of senior leadership on this team, and a lot of dudes who want to compete and want to get better. And I think that there's no complacency, so we want to keep on pushing it forward.
And then, someone asked about why. How about Deontae Craig? What's he like?
Craig, man. Did he leave? Yeah, Craig. I mean, that's one of my roommates, man. So, Craig is, I mean, he's just right spot, right time, always. You know what I mean? It's just one of those dudes who he's going to be exactly where you need to be, and he's going to make some big-time plays for you. And the way he uses his hands, the way he sheds blocks, the way he can get upfield, and the accountability he has to always be in the right spot. It's really, you know, you see Craig up there, it's like you make a call, you know he's going to do the right technique, he's going to do the right thing, and you know that the one thing you just don't take for granted at all.
What's he like as a roommate?
Oh, what's he like as a roommate? Yeah, he's a good roommate, man. Just, you know, he keeps the fridge clean. He definitely doesn't have a lot of trash around there.
Doesn't barge into your room like Jay does, showing you a play?
Nah, he doesn't barge in my room. Nah, Jay does too much though.
What kind of, obviously I think what's this leadership on this defense? What have they been kind of preaching as you guys head into like this 6-week stretch?
Yeah, it's just finished. You know what I mean? It's just like it kind of like 3 segments of our season. We knew it was like the first 4-week block, a 6-week block, and a 2-week block. Right, so we're on week 2 of our 6-week block, and we just understand that we got to kind of take it into accountability and just know every day matters. You know what I mean? Just got to be intentional, and we got to know what hurt us, and we got to know what we've been good at, and we got to know that we got to keep on pushing the stuff that we've been good at, and we got to fix the stuff that's hurt us. And you know, that kind of just having that intentionality behind everything has been really important.
And what kind of challenges Washington pose? Obviously not a lot of film on them, former Pac-12 team, new players.
Yeah, I mean, great players. I mean, the running back, one's violent, fast, violent, strong, forceful. And, you know, the tight end, he's huge. You know what I mean? He's just huge on tape. Honestly, on tape, kind of looks, man, he might be taller than Luke. I don't know the official height on him, but geez. But then their receiver, really talented. And then their O-line, they're just, they move people out the way. They make blocks, and they free up some holes for that running back.
He's been leading us on and off the field. He's been doing a great job. He's making plays. He's a great dude off the field, and he's making plays on the field. So
offensively, Washington comes in with like a top 10 defense.
Mm-hmm.
Many people outside of you guys may not know that, but Ohio State was probably number 1 in the country. So you got another tough challenge. As an offense, you guys like these challenges? Man, we want to go up against the best defense.
Yeah, of course. I mean, it's another opportunity to just improve and better ourselves. I mean, we came here to play against the top players, top defenses in the country. So whenever that presents itself, we're going to go out there and attack it. And it's another opportunity for us to get better. So. Yeah.
And kind of they were in the national championship game a year ago.
For sure.
They're coming to your house now. Kind of an old Pac-12 school versus new Big Ten team. It's kind of it's an interesting matchup. So do you guys feel like it's another chance to prove yourself a little bit to maybe some outside doubters?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we're going to come in. We're going to continue to prepare, continue to move on from last week, and just look forward to going 1-0 this week and doing whatever it takes to do that. So.
What if the veterans and the leaders, and maybe you consider yourself in there, you're in the locker room, say, what do you say when you lose a game like that to Ohio State? What's the mood in the locker room? How do you try to keep it up?
I mean, of course, you're gonna harp on it. You're gonna feel the loss. It's gonna hurt for the next 24 hours, and then pretty sure you've heard it already, but the 24-hour rule.
Yeah.
We watch the tape. We go through what we did wrong. Go where we can improve, and then we just scratch it. We move on to the next week. We got to focus on our new opponent and look forward to just going 1-0 next week. So.
Is there positivity just in the idea that you guys went out and there's still a lot of those goals in front of you. You still could be in the Big Ten championship. Still could be a CFP team.
Yeah, of course. We've talked about that. All our goals are still in front of us. Our majority of our goals are still in front of us, and we look forward to that and just doing anything we can to complete those goals. So.
Does it feel like it's been a long time since you played at Kinnick Stadium?
It has. It's been a few weeks. So yeah, it'll be exciting to be back in front of the home crowd and get Kinnick back rocking. So yeah, I look forward to playing again in Kinnick this week.
You're a Big Ten guy, obviously Northwestern, now Iowa. You knew it was coming, that the former Pac-12 teams were coming to the Big Ten, but now it's here. Is it a little odd seeing that Washington's on the schedule and now they're coming way over to the Midwest to play us?
Yeah, it's a little unique. It's a little new. It's fresh to everybody. But at the end of the day, it's another football team that we get to play, and another opportunity to go out there and win a game. So yeah, it's a little unique, but I mean, I look forward to it. So.
Did anything feel at all different today in the locker room, having 2 fewer guys out there? Anything different about missing Leshon and Kaleb?
I mean, yeah, those guys are 2 influential guys on the team. They're 2 great guys. They bond well with everybody on the team. But at the end of the day, we got to focus on the task at hand and continue to move forward. I mean, I wish those guys the best. Those are two of the greatest guys I've met since I've got here. Just great dudes, great locker room guys, and excellent players. So I wish them nothing but the best going forward. So.
In that same vein, Jacob, I mean, those are 2 guys who are on the offense that I don't know how much you spent time with them or anything like that, but I guess, is that tough? I mean, it's new too, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely tough. I mean, I was just telling somebody else that, I mean, it was 4-3, so it's 5-4-3 right next to them in the locker room. So it's different having those lockers vacant and coming in and not seeing the energy coming from those guys, because those are energetic guys and just great players on the field as well. So yeah, I mean, it's a little it affects us a little bit, but at the end of the day, we got to continue to move forward. So
offensively, it looked like in the first half it was moving a little bit, then you stall out a little bit. The second half, everything kind of went downhill. Yeah. But is it? You guys probably feel like you're moving forward, and people on the outside don't see it that way. Is it hard, that dichotomy of you guys feel like you're getting better even though maybe the results aren't there yet?
Yeah, I mean, we just got to stay focused on what's going on inside our building. As long as we have our eyes looking forward and our heads screwed on straight, I think we'll be okay. I think we'll be great. We just got to stay consistent and just keep our heads down and keep working, and I think it'll all fall together. So.
How much better do you feel like you personally are getting? I mean, especially pulling down a few catches against Ohio State team that's got lots of future NFL players on that roster. How much better do you feel like you've improved over the first 5 games?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I've continued to stack days, stack weeks, and just continuing to better myself. I try to come in every day and just find something to work on to better myself, whether it's on the field or off the field. My rehab with with getting more extras in, like after practice and stuff, and I feel like it's benefiting me on Saturday. So I'm just looking to continue to stack on that and better myself every day, every week.
Did you expect to have this many catches, this many touches over the first 5 games for Iowa? I mean, you were a guy that maybe not a lot of Hawkeye fans knew your name coming in, but for you to be one of the leading guys so far.
Yeah, I mean, I prayed about it. I manifested it, and I had those long talks with myself, and I knew the opportunity would present itself. So when I went out there and got it, I mean, I wasn't. Maybe others were surprised, but I wasn't surprised in myself. I worked for this. I put the work in. So yeah.
In that same vein, Jacob, I know coming in from a different program, granted it's Northwestern, so you got to be pretty smart, right?
Yeah.
I know the verbiage is different. I mean, we were just talking about with Cade about how many things are different. I guess what do you feel like got you on the field in terms of like understanding the timing, understanding the offense? Is it just like, is it that base level of intelligence? Do you feel like it was just hard, like, and getting in the play? I guess what do you feel like got you now to be in the offense and understanding it?
Yeah, I feel like there's that baseline of intelligence that comes with it, just understanding football and understanding like the schemes and things like that. But then again, just getting in the playbook and just studying, just spending time like in the playbook and repping it like in my head, getting mental reps when I'm not in, things like that. I feel like that got me going pretty quick. And then it just kept the ball just kept rolling from there. Once I've got it, I feel like, so it just kept going from there.
Is this a hard offense to learn?
I mean, I can see how it could be hard. I mean, there's a lot of different terms, a lot of different checks, things like that. It's a pro-style offense. It's a pro offense, so it's going to be a little difficult. But at the end of the day, you put the work in, you really sit down and understand it. It's not too bad. So
when things go bad, it's kind of when you make those like big moments, right? Like I think of Minnesota last year, Coops. I know it didn't count, but that play was like, oh my, like that was just wild. So when things get tough, that gives like this team an opportunity to go out there and do crazy things that you're gonna remember.
So like fans' mentality is it's a win, we're up here, it's a loss, we're down here.
Yeah. How
do you guys, instead of doing this, like feel yourself doing that? Just even if there's some peaks and valleys, you constantly are growing, even after a loss like last week.
Yeah, our biggest thing is just trying to be consistent, right? When you win, you're on a high, definitely, right? And it feels good, and when you lose, you're on a low. But like we said, like the 24-hour rule, if you can just stay consistent, like you can't get too high and think you're top guy on campus and all these things just because you win. Like you got to get back to work and come in every single day and treat every single day like it's your last almost. Like that's the most important day, and that's our attitude each and every week, and that's why I believe we're going to continue to get better.
So you do feel like wins, losses, no matter what, you are on that upward trajectory. You're better than you were 2 weeks ago, and that was better than 4 weeks ago?
Absolutely. I think every week we've grown in a lot of aspects, whether it be offense, defense, special teams. We're going to continue to grow, and we have.
Even with 2 losses already, is there still an idea that there's still, I would think, most of your goals in front of you? I mean, it's still possible to get to a Big Ten championship game, a CFP. I mean, is there still that positivity in the locker room? Like, hey, if we win out, we still have that in front of us?
Yeah, absolutely. We're just going to take care of what we need to take care of, and let everybody else in the country do what they do. But yeah, the most important thing is this team and what we do, and as long as we continue to come out every single day and get better, all our goals are out there in front of us. I think we have an opportunity to win out if we just do things the right way. But that just starts with today, and then tomorrow coming into practice, just the right attitude and right mindset.
I don't know quite how to phrase this, but is it fun or weird or whatever being part of the Iowa team that gets to be in this new look Big Ten that plays a team like Washington, like UCLA in conference play, like just kind of the novelty of something like that?
It's honestly really cool, just like being able to play new teams, almost like playing Washington, then we get to go out playing the Rose Bowl Stadium and see like those cool things. It's just super cool to be a part of it, and the change in college football. There's just been, I feel like, so much change in college football, especially since I've been here the last 5 years, whether it be like NIL or the conference change, all these things. It's all happening while I'm here, so it's been pretty cool to be a part of.
Probably been asked this, but the importance of establishing the running game again. It didn't really happen against Ohio State.
Yeah.
Obviously, that's the main goal this week.
Yeah, I mean, we kind of live off our run game, and we're very confident in that, and especially with our backs that we have. KJ and Kamari running the ball as hard as they do. And it starts with us up front. We just got to get the job done and be better coming out every single week. And I think we're going to continue to do that. It just starts with us, and then letting KJ work his magic.
What about Washington's defense stands out to you? Is there any one thing? Quickness, speed?
They're big. They're big, and they play really hard. If you watch the tape, you see these guys. They play really hard, and they're finishing.
I think that's the biggest thing that stands out to them. And then they're 3 down front, they can move to a 4 down front. They're mugging up a whole bunch of stuff. So yeah, they definitely give you some different looks too.
Speaking of that running back room, you lost one of your members of the running back room, lost a receiver over the last 24 hours or so. What's kind of the bounce back from that? Are you guys just kind of focusing on who's still here? Focusing on the guys that are still in the locker room?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. Those guys are great guys. I wish them the best, but we're invested in this team and what we got to do this year. And no matter what happens, we got to look forward. And our focus is still on Washington this week. We still got a lot of guys that can play football, and we're still excited to continue to improve.
So maybe one of the drawbacks of being in this new era of college football, that's something that can happen, is that you lose a guy mid-season even?
Yeah, it's hard. It's honestly kind of like injury, right? You never know what's going to happen. So it's kind of like injury. You lose a guy, you can't just be bummed about it the whole time, right? You just got to keep moving forward and grow.
And I think me and his relationship has evolved over time as well. Like, that's one of my best friends now, and I'm definitely lucky to get to play alongside him. For sure. He makes it easier for me. So,
was there a moment where you kind of realized, oh man, this is a lot more outspoken than?
I don't think there's like a specific moment, but just I think the evolution of gaining that confidence of playing on the field and knowing you can hang with other teams in the Big Ten. I think that naturally just brings it out of you, and you already know when you see him, he's 6'6", 6'7", great size. Like, he's one of the smartest guys in the room, and he does a great job putting it all together.
With kind of being a 2-gap D tackle, he doesn't necessarily have the numbers, but kind of what would you say to somebody who looks at the numbers and doesn't seem to fully understand his impact?
Yeah, I mean, I think the true football fan knows what a good defensive player is in general, and I think especially in our defense, it's a lot of do your job, so the cogs can work well together, whether it's the D-line frictioning so the linebackers can scrape over the top, like the backers putting themselves in tough positions so the back end can cover better. I mean, I think we're all willing to sacrifice because we know at the end of the day, if we do our job, we'll be really successful.
Thanks, I appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem.
Hey, Deontae.
Hey, how are you?
Good.
Well, how'd you feel like the D-line played against a team like Ohio State that's got maybe the best offense in the country? I mean, I know you guys gave up 35 points, but still hung with them for a while. What's the mentality after that game?
Yeah, I mean, I think we held our own, but there's no moral victories in the sport that we play, unfortunately. So it just, after the game, we talked a lot about just making sure. Making sure we, when you get opportunities out there on the field, you gotta be prepared. You gotta take them, and you can't miss when you take them. So all week just been preaching. This is the rehearsal for the real thing on Saturday. So just goes back to the full 60 minutes. You gotta have intense detail, intense focus, and everything like that. So it's a good test for us. Good to see where we're at. We found out a lot about ourselves on Saturday, so now it's just about improving and carrying that over into this Saturday.
Is there some positivity, and at least for the remainder of the regular season, I mean, that's the best team that you're going to play. Like, it's all at least going to be a little bit easier compared to the other teams you're going to be going up against the next 8 weeks or so?
I think the outside world could think that way, but, for us, we're extremely disappointed because we went into the game, expecting to win that thing, and, obviously we came up short, so like I said, it's just about improvement now, going out against Washington and putting our best foot forward and trying to show the world how good we can really be.
Is it weird playing against a team like Washington, just like being in this new era of the Big Ten where you're playing teams like Washington, UCLA? I don't know if that even matters or stands out or even feels any different to you guys?
Yeah, I mean, it's different in the sense that, it's the first time a team's going to be coming pretty much cross country to play a game in a conference, but I think it's unique, it's special. It goes to show the changing world that college football's turning into. I think it'll be cool. It's our first time playing them, I think, since it's 1985, 95, something like that. So, I'm sure it'll be the start of a lot of fun matchups between us two teams.
Speaking of kind of the changing world of college football, you've lost a couple of teammates in the last 24 hours or so. What's the mentality? What's the idea? What's the mindset going forward, having 2 less guys in the locker room?
It's still business as usual. Obviously, those are 2 guys that we want to keep on our offense and try to get involved. But at the end of the day, you just got to wish them the best of luck on their journey wherever they decide to end up. I mean, they were nothing but positive to all of us in the locker room. There was no hate nor ill will towards either one of them. So just best of luck to them, and hopefully they find happiness with whatever they choose.
Deontae, I wanted to ask you just about prep for a team like Washington because there is no history. I mean, none of you guys because you're alive the last time Iowa played Washington a million years ago when I was in college, unfortunately. But, even last year, they were playing for the national championship. They only had one returning starter for that team. They didn't have the same coach. And now, the quarterback played at Mississippi State, different scheme. How do you go about prepping for this? Do you just rely strictly on what we've seen this year and not worry about the past, or how do you?
I mean, I think a lot of it is just a lot of intense, detailed film study. Like you said, they have a lot of turnover, but they also have a lot of guys that that left. A lot of really, really good guys that left from their team, and I know their new head coach had a lot of success at Arizona before he took this job, and I know he's probably going to bring that same kind of philosophy over here. But it just goes back to the film study. Our coaches do a great job every week of putting together an excellent plan. I mean, that's what practice is for. We go through the trial and error of the game plan rules and see what works, see what doesn't work, see what we want to keep in for Saturday, see what we want to put out, and then it goes back to us on the field. If we can pick up on little things throughout the game that we can use later on, that'll be obviously beneficial. But it's tough, but the preparation's still the same. You got to put in the time, got to put in the work, because nothing of it's ever easy. So.